Hi, this is Lady C coming at you with a motivational video. I've been talking to people about, hey, look, what do I do with my life after leaving the Watchtower? And, they were saying, like, if I spend my entire life just focusing on what the Watchtower is teaching today, how do I really pick up the pieces in my life and make something out of my life for tomorrow? So I just wanted to come out and just kind of talk about my personal experience and the things I had to do when I left. And it was so interesting because I decided to go back to college to get my degree. And this video is not about me going to college, but it's really just about me making a commitment, because it doesn't make a difference what it is. It doesn't make a difference if it's going to college or changing jobs, moving to a new neighborhood, or finding new friends. It's the fact that you're going to make this commitment to do that. And so after you leave the Watchtower, you have to ask yourself, what is my focus? I know, like this morning, I got my email and I had joined the neighborhood advisory committee in my neighborhood. And I got an email asking me if I could host the next Zoom conference using my Zoom account. And I thought to myself, a lot of times when you're a Jehovah's Witness and you were doing outside activities that had nothing to do with Watchtower, we didn't get involved in that kind of stuff. And yet here I am doing that next week. And I'm hosting this event using my Zoom account. But guess what? What I had to do was make a commitment. And that commitment means that if I'm going to host that meeting using my Zoom account, then I'm going to have to show up. I'm going to have to be there to let people in so that they can attend the meeting. And it's something just as simple as that in our lives, we didn't get a chance to do stuff like that. And as a woman, as one of Jehovah's Witnesses, the only thing that you were going to be leading was going to be knocking on somebody's door, trying to recruit them into the Jehovah's Witness religion. And even when it came to going out in service, you weren't even taking the lead, because as the Watchtower always talked about, it's the brothers that's taking the lead, but it's the women that are the large army. So they don't have any problems using us as women to go out and preach their message to bring people in, but you would never, ever find yourself in a leadership role. And so when you leave this religion, and it doesn't make a difference, if you happen to be in my audience right now and you've never been one of Jehovah's Witnesses, this might fit your situation as well. But what I'm saying is, even at work, it doesn't have to be in a religion. It could be anywhere where we're around people. Because once you get in groups, there's always going to be the chosen ones that's going to be asked to do stuff and to lead things. And we know that in the Jehovah's Witness religion, it's always the men. And not only that, but it's the men that are showing their allegiance to the Watchtower by showing up to all the meetings, by having a number of hour requirement, going out in field service, everything that's going to show the Watchtower that these people are going to be loyal to the cause, right? So you could be at a job and you could be working a job with people who are just absolute idiots. And those people, they get to do everything. And you're standing by and you're looking at everybody, and because you're getting passed over for opportunities, you're thinking, well, I'm not going to volunteer for anything, or you don't feel committed, or you don't want to commit because you don't want to be passed over. Because, people don't want to be rejected. And that's what happens a lot of times. So if you are living in a world full of rejection, that might be the reason why you're not committing to different things, because you're tired of the rejection. Don't allow that to happen to you. Go ahead on, make commitments in your life, stick to those commitments, and show up, because you can do this. Don't let people intimidate your intentions or your desires or your goals, but you have to keep your eyes on your own prize. Because a lot of times when people discourage you from doing things that you could be doing, what ends up happening is they may see a potential in you that you don't even see. And sometimes when people see that you could be very good at something, they may decide that they're going to tell you or make you feel like you're not good at something to make you want to quit. And what it really is is you're doing so well and they don't want to see you succeed. And so you've got to go ahead on and make small commitments. Like when I went back to college, I remember this so vividly. When I went to go enroll in my first class and I looked at the syllabus and I was like, oh God, here we go again. Somebody wants me to be someplace on a specific time every night of the week. But the only difference in that commitment is when that class ended, then that commitment was done. And then I went to my next class and I signed up for that class. And I found out that class is on a Thursday night. And I had to make a commitment to be there every Thursday. Because this is before you could get online classes, And so I had to drive to the college. I had to sit in the class, do the homework. You know how that works. You got to make a commitment. You got to get there. You got to do what you got to do to pass the class. But the difference in that commitment and the one with the Watchtower is it was about me learning and getting through the class, passing the class, learning something that can enhance my future, enhance my opportunities to get a job or to be an expert in whatever it is I'm trying to learn in that class. But at the Kingdom Hall, it's not like that. At the Kingdom Hall, it's all day, every day, thinking about the end of the world. You had your Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday meetings. Mind you, I realize I've been gone for a while. So don't start, commenting below, letting me know that we don't go to 3 meetings a week anymore. I got that. But because that's not what this video is about. This video is about my experience during the time I was a Jehovah's Witness. I had a Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday meeting. I was committed to those meetings, and I had to be at those meetings every week. And this must go on until the end of the world, or until the Watchtower decided that they were going to change their schedule and how many times we would meet each week. So for those of you who are into that right now, go ahead and leave your comments below. Talk about what your situation is. I'm just talking about the commitment and how after I left this religion, I no longer had to worry about being someplace every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And I got to let me back up a little bit, y'all, because you also had to be out in field service at least on a Saturday. And we do know if you were regular pioneering or just auxiliary pioneering, then you would make arrangements to be out in service, different times of the week, different points of time, and things like that. But that's a never-ending schedule. You could never see yourself out of that. It was always being committed to doing something because something in the future is going to give you everlasting life if you keep this schedule up. So I'm just simply saying, now that I know this is not the truth, one of the things that when you leave this religion that you got to be so careful in, you want to make sure that you don't become complacent in the world that we live in. So when you think about your life and your experience as one of Jehovah's Witnesses and how everything was one-dimensional, you could not look to the right or to the left because you had to keep your eyes on their prize. It wasn't your prize because we know that they're not who they say they are, and all these things that they promise people won't be coming true. Let's just take this down a little bit. For instance, today we went out to breakfast in the neighborhood at a new cafe that opened up in our neighborhood. And we got a chance to meet the owners and meet the pop-up businesses that showed up to sell items and things and talk to the other patrons in the restaurant. Now, today is Saturday. And if we were Jehovah's Witnesses, we wouldn't have been doing that. We would have been out in field service, knocking on doors, standing out with a cart, whatever it is they do now, trying to recruit people to this religion. So something just as simple as that, just going to your neighborhood cafe, meeting people, and getting to know people in your neighborhood. That's a commitment. Going back to school. I've done videos in the past about going to college and, just going to school and stuff like that and getting my degree and stuff, but that might not be your passion. But never stop learning. Always commit yourself to learning. And the reason why I say that is because knowledge is everywhere. So you might not want to go and get a formal education, but hey, look, there's plenty of opportunities to learn. There's a lot of people that they read and study certain disciplines, and then they go out and study for a certification because people are taking certifications for education. And like, let's say, for instance, computers. If you really, really love computers and you find that, this is your passion, you don't necessarily have to go to school to, get a formal degree. You could just find out what the discipline is, find out whether or not they have a certification track, and you can get certified in that application or whatever it is. But I highly recommend that you commit to something. And I'm just trying to come out to encourage people to look at their lives, to make these commitments. I mean, when you left Watchtower and you got tired of being committed to these days, going out in field service, going to the Kingdom Hall and stuff like that, you got to get back up on your horse, as it were, and make a commitment to now do something for you. Make that commitment to set some goals, to attain those goals, and try your best to move on. All right, now this has been Lady C. I want to thank you so much for being in my audience, and I'll see you on the next episode.